Hello, hello, and welcome to another update on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin chart, it's just an intraday update today here. The Bitcoin chart continues to move sideways. So, quick reminder here what the relevant levels are. We want to take a look at the short-term bullish and short-term bearish scenario. I'm also going to zoom in to talk about the latest developments on the nano level because this is literally just an intraday update. Please note that the larger time frame structure and wave count was discussed in the last video. So here on the nano level, and I don't expect much movement today, we completed possibly a wave 3 of circle wave 3. So at the moment, the idea is that a larger degree B wave bottomed on the 22nd of June. And I explained all that in the last video, and if you're interested in the bigger picture, check it out. But current idea is we are now in this C wave to the upside, which can take us to 130K and beyond. Now, at the moment, we can see that this is a 3-wave move up so far. And what we want to get to is a 5-wave move because a C wave is 5 waves. Now we can get extensions in between and everything, so this might all shift a little higher. But there are some Fibonacci levels that meet in the 130K area. Now, there are 2 wave counts, 2 roadmaps essentially that I'm tracking here. In the white scenario, we had a 5-wave move up into the 30th of June high. That is the short-term bullish scenario, by the way. To be fair, they are both bullish. They've all been bullish for the last few weeks. But obviously, there's always a, let's call it, short-term bearish alternative available, right? So if we have a wave 1 here, then a wave 2 pullback, right? Now we could be in a 3rd wave rally, which again is a 5-wave move. 1, 2. 3rd wave is also a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In circle wave 3. Then wave 4. Then wave 5 of the larger degree 3rd wave. Then a wave 4. Then a wave 5 can send us to 130K. Now, in such a scenario here, the price obviously could grind higher. It's important to hold the 113K level to keep this impulse alive. Now, if you follow my work and for some time now, and you know that a 3rd wave is typically the longest wave. So therefore, this here makes sense to assume this is like a 1/3 of a 3rd wave, right? And let's zoom in a little further. So before I go into much more detail about the white scenario, the yellow count is the short-term bearish scenario. But it's not really bearish. It just means we need to be prepared for, what would happen if we break below upper micro support? I mean, what happens if we break below 113K? Well, it means that we're likely in circle wave B in yellow, so just a bit of a deeper pullback, right? It means that the 3rd wave is not unfolding as a 5-wave move, but rather as a 3-wave move, an ABC structure. It's a diagonal structure, basically. Because the C wave that I showed you in the beginning, to the upside, to 130K, can unfold either as an impulse. That's the preferred interpretation as long as we're holding all support levels. But it can also unfold as a diagonal structure. And that is what we're tracking here right now in the yellow scenario. But there is absolutely no evidence for it. But I need to present you with more than just one scenario. It's important. Because otherwise you wouldn't know what's going on if we break support. So for now, the direct focus remains here on higher prices. And the B wave pullback, for example, could take us a little lower. But then if we break below 113K, we will likely shift the focus here to round about 107,250 or so. This here is what's likely unfolding here over the weekend, right? So I'm not necessarily expecting a massive wave 4 because the wave 2 down here was also quite short. It wasn't massive, and so this wave 4 it might just form a triangle or something. For now, I think it's reasonable to assume that maybe we're doing something like that here. And again, I'm not even sure if we get this additional ABC structure here, but for now it seems like maybe wave B is still unfolding. So A wave down, and then A, B, C in wave B, then wave C. That could be all of wave 4, but it might just be the A wave, then B, then C. So essentially, it's important in these corrections to stay a little bit flexible. But it is possible that if we just get that C wave down, this is going to be all of wave 4. Yeah. Just be ready for it. Sometimes Bitcoin wave 4s are rather shallow, rather sideways oriented, rather weak. So I just want to map it out here. But a wave 4 can be a WXY, you know, it can turn into a triangle, but typically it makes sense to track an ABC structure first, because this is the most common structure, really. Yeah. And so this is what we're tracking. We haven't even reached support, honestly. And sometimes, as I said, Bitcoin sometimes only touches the 23.6 Fib level, sometimes even avoids support. Important is not that we test it. Important is that we hold above 113K. So the main point here is to understand that it's important that the bulls show up before the price breaks below 113K. So that's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.